Hello, it's the 17th of March and a very happy St. Patrick's Day to you. Many people, wrongly in my view, associate St. Patrick's Day with partying, and perhaps not enough people know about St. Patrick himself. So let me give you a little bit of background detail. St. Patrick is thought to have grown up on the western shores of Britain. Some people in the north of France claim him for themselves. He was captured by pirates and taken to Ireland, where, with a number of other people, he spread Christianity in Ireland in the early 5th century. A number of his colleagues, followers, Columba, for example, then took Christianity to Scotland. I never tire of telling my Swiss colleagues that in later centuries, other Irishmen, Gall and Fridolin, crossed Europe from Ireland to Switzerland, establishing churches, monasteries and universities in Switzerland, and their imprint is clear to see today. Reflecting on St. Patrick, I wonder what he would think if he looked at the world today, if he looked at Europe, if he looked at Britain and Brexit, etc. Well, I think, first of all, St. Patrick would be familiar with the concept of declining empires. When he was when he was middle-aged, the Roman Empire was crumbling. If he looked at Europe today, he might even recognize the imminent collapse of Europe and the Eurozone, to judge by some commentary, or he may even recognize or see in the ruins the end of the British Empire. He would also, I think, be familiar with currency volatility. In the decades before St. Patrick was born, if you take the denarii, which was the Roman currency, 300,000 denarii were required to buy £1 of gold, and then when St. Patrick was an adult, it took 2.1 billion denarii to buy that same pound of gold. So currency decline was also a factor of St. Patrick's Day. Looking at Ireland and Scotland, I think because at the time they were never part of the empire, the Roman Empire, that is, he may also recognize in them the spirit of independence. He may also have thought that Britain, not really ever being truly part of the Roman Empire for the duration of that empire, would also have had sort of exit-like tendencies. So he may have sympathized with Brexit. And Brexit is in the news. We now expect Theresa May to launch Brexit at the end of March. That process, I think, will generate a lot of media headlines, but general calm in the market. I don't expect any major announcements to accompany the triggering of Brexit. In that backdrop, sterling, for example, begins to look cheap on a valuation basis. Still, big short positions in the market. In the background, you have the various chapters of political contests in Europe. We've just had the re-election, it seems, of Mark Rutte as Dutch Prime Minister, and now we move on to the French elections. The first round there will be on the 23rd of April. The first major TV debate between the main candidates will take place next Monday. So the market attention now is going to focus on France. I think what's interesting as a background factor is that the business cycle in Europe, and I should say as well the UK, looks pretty healthy. There still is, for example, ongoing M&A in the UK. So I think the fact that the underlying business conditions are relatively normal makes for a pretty good investment climate. In terms of our own investment strategy, again, we look for pockets of value. We are fully invested in terms of our portfolios, but looking to buy protection with low volatility. One of the worst performing sectors year to date is energy, which we've moved to overweight, and recent volatility in the oil price I think should act as quite a nice buying opportunity. In currencies, we still like the dollar relative to the euro, and we have a long yen position as a hedge in case we get any trade disputes. And of course, trade disputes were also a function of St. Patrick's time. Dare I mention the onset of the Vikings. Anyway, I hope you all enjoy St. Patrick's Day and talk to you again soon.